For centuries, the sea has guarded secrets, etched onto fragile parchment, waiting for the right eyes to read them. But one map, created in 1513, defies conventional understanding of early 16th century geographical knowledge. This is the story of the Piri Reis map, a document steeped in intrigue and historical controversy. A map that allegedly shows lands unknown to the world of its time. How much ancient knowledge has truly been lost to the tides of time? To understand the map, we must first meet the man, Admiral Piri Reis of the Ottoman Empire. Born around 1465, Reis was not just a sailor, but a renowned geographer and mapmaker. His map, compiled in 1513, was reportedly based on over 20 source maps, some even older than Columbus's voyages. He claimed access to charts drawn by navigators who sailed with Christopher Columbus himself. This compilation process suggests a vast, almost unbelievable network of inherited geographical knowledge. But what exactly did this masterful compilation reveal when finally rendered? The Piri Reis map is a portolan chart, oriented towards the north, typical of Mediterranean navigation aids. Its depiction of the West African coast and the Iberian Peninsula is remarkably precise for the era. The cartographer clearly incorporated contemporary Portuguese and Spanish charting data obtained after 1500. This segment validates Reis's expertise and his commitment to incorporating the freshest explorations. However, precision regarding known territories is only the beginning of the story. The real debate ignites when we look further west, towards the edges of the then-known world. What sources did he possess that provided details far beyond the reach of European mariners? This compilation process suggests a vast, almost unbelievable network of inherited geographical knowledge. But what exactly did this masterful compilation reveal when finally rendered? The map clearly displays islands resembling Hispaniola and Cuba, suggesting knowledge gained soon after Columbus. The depiction of the South American coastline is more controversial, stretching further south than many expected at that time. Dr. Jareth suggests this accuracy implies contact with pre-Columbian or perhaps even earlier nautical traditions. It implies either advanced European exploration that was kept secret, or the utilization of much older source materials. Some features, however, remain stubbornly difficult to place geographically, hinting at interpretation challenges. Reis himself noted that the map was a composite, a necessity that introduces layers of potential error and interpretation. The coastline curves downward, suggesting a landmass far south of the known world. This southern projection sets the stage for the map's most sensational claim, the sighting of Antarctica. In the extreme south, below the tip of South America, appears a landmass entirely uncharted in 1513. Proponents argue this accurately depicts Queen Maud Land, an ice-covered part of Antarctica. This is staggering, as Antarctica wasn't officially sighted until 1820, 2 centuries later. If true, it suggests Reis accessed source material from a civilization with global awareness, perhaps even before the last ice age. Skeptics offer a more grounded explanation for the southern shapes. They suggest the southern features are highly distorted projections of the known South American coast, or Terra Australis Incognita. The inclusion of coastline features under the ice remains the critical, unresolved piece of evidence. Piri Reis, however, merely recorded what his sources told him, offering little defense for the anomalous features. The truth may lie buried beneath centuries of interpretations and the relentless march of geological time. To appreciate the map's uniqueness, we must understand the state of global knowledge in the early 1500s. Portolan charts were practical tools for sailors, focused on accurate bearings between known ports, not world geography. Reis's work broke this mold by attempting a global representation, even using different projection methods for different areas. Reis wrote that he consulted a map drawn by Columbus himself, a document now lost to history. Dr. Jareth notes the tantalizing possibility that Columbus possessed older Iberian or even Phoenician navigational data. If Reis truly synthesized maps predating 1492, these details might not be prophecy, but inheritance. Yet, the map's physical existence in 1513 places it firmly in the age of Ottoman naval power and global competition. Beyond the continents, the map harbors several perplexing details within the interior landmasses. Notice the elongated shape of the continent. It appears significantly narrower than modern measurements suggest. Some researchers suggest these distortions relate to the map projection method used for capturing seismic or subterranean data. The depiction of the Caribbean islands also shows strange docking symbols, perhaps indicating historical ports now submerged or lost. Dr. Jareth counters that these are simply conventional symbols used by Ottoman mariners to denote safe harbors or resources. The map's fidelity to known coasts builds trust, making the unknown sections all the more compelling for examination. It's a snapshot of what one man believed the world looked like, synthesized from disparate, perhaps ancient, sources. But the true power of the map lies not just in what it shows, but in what it times implies, times about pre-Renaissance understanding. For centuries, this remarkable document remained largely hidden within the archives of the Ottoman Topkapi Palace Museum. Its modern reappraisal began in 1929, when Turkish historian and scholar Dr. Halil Edhem Eldem identified it. It was gifted to the geography professor Armin Merz, who immediately recognized its strange anomalies. The map was then studied intensely by proponents of alternative history, seeking evidence of pre-Columbian global navigation. Dr. Gereth describes the academic consensus regarding the map's primary utility versus its outliers. Even viewed skeptically, the Piri Reis map remains a pivotal artifact, showing the blending of East and West knowledge. It forces us to confront the possibility that our timeline of geographical discovery might be incomplete. The primary technical challenge in analyzing the map is projection error inherent to converting a 3D sphere to 2D paper. The Mercator projection, used later, significantly exaggerates areas near the poles. Piri Reis used a variation of the Lambert projection. Dr. Gereth explains that the southern land's elongation could simply be a consequence of projecting the lower latitudes. If the coastline was accurately surveyed, the distortion should be consistent, which isn't entirely the case here. This inconsistency fuels the fire for those who believe the map must incorporate data gathered from an aerial or perhaps pre-glacial perspective. For the skeptic, it's a remarkable, complex failure of early projection techniques, not a triumph of lost science. Yet, the fact that any times landmass appears there at all demands our attention. Piri Reis synthesized the known, but perhaps he inherited a ghost of the unknown. Moving north from the established Caribbean, the upper left section invites further speculation. Some interpretations claim vague features suggesting early contact with the North American mainland coastlines. Dr. Gereth maintains that these vague markings are consistent with the limits of 16th century westward exploration knowledge. If these features are genuine, they predate the known detailed mapping by decades, perhaps longer. Ultimately, the North American sightings remain secondary to the Antarctic debate, often dismissed as noise. Regardless of geographical accuracy, the Piri Reis map is undeniably an authentic artifact from 1513. Its inscription clearly states it was copied by Reis during the period of intense Ottoman naval expansion. Some clarify that the debate is not times if times it exists, but times what times information was available to its creator. The Ottoman Empire possessed a sophisticated network for gathering intelligence and maps from captured or traded sources. This context suggests Reis was a meticulous collector, assembling the best available geographical data of his time. The edge of the map has always been the edge of human ambition, a place where reality blurs with myth. What secrets were guarded by the oceans that only a few daring souls managed to chart? The Piri Reis map is a tangible piece of that mystery, demanding we question the limits of historical capacity. We continue our investigation into the evidence that supports its most unbelievable claims. The key argument rests on the absence of ice covering the depicted landmass. Geological studies confirm that the coastlines of Queen Maud Land were ice-free, approximately 6,000 to 12,000 years ago. Dr. Gereth questions how an Ottoman admiral, confined to the Mediterranean world, could access data this ancient. The answer, according to some theories, lies in the hidden libraries of Alexandria or older Mediterranean cultures. Piri Reis claimed his sources included maps from the time of Alexander the Great, possibly inherited from that ancient network. If the source map was that old, the coastlines might indeed represent the world before the current glacial epoch. However, critics argue that the map's orientation and features closely match the coastlines surveyed by Captain Cook decades later, just mapped incorrectly. It's the ambiguity, the near miss with precision, that keeps the legend of the map alive. Whether a miracle of preservation or a masterful composite error, the map demands re-evaluation. How did the Piri Reis map stack up against the best European efforts being drawn concurrently? Most contemporary European charts ended abruptly after the confirmed coast of Brazil, fading into speculation. Other scientists note the Ottoman perspective often integrated Eastern knowledge systems ignored by Western mapmakers. Dr. Gereth points out the map's relative accuracy in depicting the curvature of the Atlantic basin itself. This suggests that even if the landmasses were misplaced or distorted, the underlying oceanic framework was derived from sophisticated surveying. Reis was attempting to create a synthesis, an ultimate world map integrating every reliable source he could access. Crucially, the Piri Reis map we examine today is only a fragment of the original document. It is believed that at least one significant portion, detailing the Eastern Hemisphere, is missing. If that missing section contained details about Asia or Australia, the implications for 16th century global awareness would be staggering. Other scientists suggest that Reis might have intentionally left the more complex or politically sensitive sources undocumented. The surviving fragment, focusing on the Americas, might therefore be the least surprising part of the original creation. We are studying a puzzle with vital pieces intentionally or accidentally removed by the passage of nearly 500 years. When conventional history fails to explain the data, fringe theories inevitably rush in to fill the void. The supposed ice-free Antarctica detail leads some to speculate about maps derived from civilizations long preceding recorded human history. Dr. Jareth firmly dismisses these connections, citing the demonstrable 16th century materials used in the map's construction. The argument is one of interpretation. Are we seeing an anomaly or a highly inaccurate drawing of known features? For Reis, these maps were practical tools. For us, they are historical artifacts hinting at unknown journeys. The map endures precisely because it allows for both plausible history and captivating conjecture. Beyond visual shape, mathematical models suggest correlations that are statistically improbable for random error. Specific triangulation points on the South American coast align remarkably well with modern geodesic measurements. Jareth explains that this precision might simply come from good triangulation techniques used by early explorers. But these calculations are less accurate the further south the map extends, unless one assumes the subglacial surface was being charted. A narrator posits that the map shifts projection styles precisely where the Antarctic landmass begins. This suggests Reis was either combining two entirely different source maps or switching observational techniques. The mathematical fingerprint remains ambiguous, a beautiful mess of ancient legacy and contemporary limitations. Regardless of the myths, Piri Reis was a brilliant naval officer who served his sultan faithfully. His primary intention was to create the most accurate nautical chart possible for his naval peers. Many insist that true historical appreciation comes from accepting the context of 1513, not projecting 21st century expectations backward. The map's inclusion of the New World so early is, by itself, a monumental achievement in cartography. It stands as a monument to the vast, interconnected world of knowledge that existed long before modern exploration cemented its borders. Let's reconsider the Queen Maud land alignment one last time, focusing purely on topography. The detail isn't just a coast. It includes inlets and peninsulas that match post-ice sheet surveys. Jareth suggests this is confirmation bias. We see what we want to see in ambiguous data. But the sheer geographic gap between the known world and this feature remains. Perhaps the map is a composite of a real unglaciated land surveyed millennia ago, passed down through oral tradition and fragile documents. Piri Reis, the humble compiler, unwittingly preserved a record that challenges 5 centuries of accepted history. The map doesn't offer proof of ancient aliens or mythical cities, only tantalizing coordinates. And those coordinates ensure the Piri Reis map will be debated for centuries to come. While the Americas dominate the conversation, the missing eastern section is equally important to the full picture. Did it contain an accurate delineation of Australia, which was not officially charted until the 17th century? A narrator suggests that if the Antarctic section relies on ancient sources, the Asian routes might be equally advanced. The synthesis of East and West knowledge was the ultimate goal of any Ottoman cartographer of Reis's stature. The surviving piece is a tantalizing glimpse into a potentially complete, globally accurate 16th century masterwork. The Piri Reis map remains a singular testament to the complexity of historical geography. It is undeniably authentic, created in 1513 by an Ottoman master synthesizer of information. Its geographical anomalies, particularly the ice-free Antarctic depiction, continue to defy easy classification. Jareth summarizes, "We must respect the known achievements while remaining open to the evidence, however slim." Was it the preservation of lost Piri Reis sources, or a staggering leap of cartographic error? This leaves the final judgment to the viewer. Armed now with the historical context, the map speaks across the centuries, challenging us to look deeper into the history of discovery. The creation of such a map underscores the global reach and ambition of the Ottoman Navy during this era. Ottoman ships frequently interacted with Venetian, Portuguese, and Spanish mariners, leading to information exchange. Piri Reis was perfectly positioned geographically and professionally to act as history's greatest geographical aggregator. His maps were essential for commanding the vast sea routes, critical to the empire's commerce and defense. Today, digital imaging allows us to see details invisible to the naked eye, peeling back layers of time. Infrared analysis can sometimes reveal erased or faint underdrawings, suggesting earlier drafts or hidden intentions. Jareth discusses how digital overlay techniques help reconcile the map with modern GIS data. These tools confirm the known geography's accuracy, but leave the Antarctic data stubbornly unique. The map continues to resist easy categorization, remaining a cornerstone of geographical enigmas. Once identified, the map entered the global academic circuit, sparking immediate interest among specialized geographers. The very act of publishing its image meant that its controversial aspects would be magnified exponentially. This explains how early enthusiasm often overlooked the technical limitations of the time. This period cemented the map's status not just as a historical document, but as a piece of enduring popular mystery. If Reis inherited data from Columbus, it would explain the accuracy of the Caribbean features. Columbus himself was a poor cartographer, often relying on earlier, perhaps even Spanish or Portuguese explorers' sketches. Gereth argues that any accurate Columbus source Reis used would have been extremely rare, likely captured during conflict. The claim of using Columbus's maps may have been Reis's way of lending prestige to his synthesis of foreign data. It highlights a recurring theme. The most accurate knowledge often existed in fragmented form across warring empires. If the Antarctic land is truly depicted ice-free, it connects the map to deep paleoclimatology. This suggests that the source material might have been based on traditions or recordings dating back perhaps 10,000 years. This emphasizes that while intriguing, there is no direct evidence linking Reis to artifacts of that age. The map acts as a historical lightning rod, attracting every theory about lost global knowledge. Within Turkish scholarship, the map is prized as a testament to the Ottoman Empire's naval sophistication. Its value is often placed on its accuracy regarding the Western Mediterranean and known routes, not necessarily the anomalies. Piri Reis is celebrated as a scholar who utilized international sources to serve the strategic needs of his state. This national viewpoint tends to favor the master compiler theory over the pre-Ice Age surveyor theory. The walled singular map of 1507 was the first to name the new continent, America, providing a key temporal benchmark. Reis's map shows a more developed, though still incomplete, understanding of the coastlines than walled Semela's theoretical rendering. Scientists note that Reis's map seems to incorporate data gathered times after times the walled Semela map was published. This confirms Reis was actively updating his sources, yet it fails to explain the sophistication of the southern continent. The Piri Reis map, therefore, sits at a crucial crossroads, the peak of known 16th century synthesis, bordering on the impossible. Surviving the centuries required luck, proper archival storage, and dedicated conservators. The vellum substrate is inherently more durable than paper, but vulnerable to environmental changes. Gereth emphasizes that every viewing subjects the map to risks, necessitating the digital copies we rely on. Thus, the ongoing debate is largely mediated through high-resolution digital reproductions, ensuring its survival in the discourse. We know Piri Reis created the map in 1513 using at least 20 sources. We know the coasts of Africa and South America are surprisingly accurate for the period. We know the map fragment points unmistakably toward an uncharted, ice-free southern landmass. Evidence concludes. The map's greatest lesson is that history is rarely as settled as textbooks suggest. It reminds us that knowledge often travels the longest paths, waiting centuries to be rediscovered. The enigma of the Piri Reis map endures, an open door to the world's forgotten geographies. Historical consulting regarding Ottoman cartography was invaluable. Visual reconstructions of 16th century environments are based on contemporary architectural records. Thank you for exploring the enigma of the Piri Reis map.